Okay guys, so there's a problem out here, but I think I have the solution to counteract it. In here is a bunch of basically stagnant water with a ton of leaves, and it's like massive. There's like 150 gallons of water here that is just completely no fish, and it has been taken over by insect larvae. Now I want to put fish out here to get rid of the insect larvae. But the problem is, I'm pretty sure that, like, this has to be kind of sucky right now because it's just been sitting and it has a ton of stuff decomposing in it. It's literally like a log and stuff. But it also has a ton of very cycled biological media. And it has a bush growing out of it, as you can see here, and like a ton of roots and stuff growing out of it. And that's not connected, that's just a gross dirt. So I have a bunch of baby goldfish. I think I'm going to just take a scoop of them and put them in a bag, bring them out here, acclimate the bag, and it's cold, but in theory, the goldfish, over the next month, where I won't be doing anything with this, will be able to move around through those and eat and then like grow massive in here or something like that. So I'm just going to take like a scoop of them and then move them out. So here they are acclimating. Oh, there's a couple of them. I probably should count them before, but I'm just going to let them sit here. I'm going to go eat some lunch, and then they can feast on all the algae and the different things that are just going on in this tank. It's also starting to rain, but basically, this is just its own ecosystem going on here throughout the winter, but it's not really winter anymore, so it's probably going to get cold, but I know the goldfish can handle it. So as long as they acclimate properly, and I have pretty high hopes for them actually surviving, but they are goldfish, and while it might sound quite horrible if they happen to not make it, I wouldn't be the most upset because in the end they're probably going to end up as feeder fish, and they're probably going to die kind of young anyway. They're just not really of size to feed to my turtles yet. It's not great to feed goldfish to turtles, but goldfish are raised by me, and it's not like it's going to happen a whole lot, so they're basically just feeder fish, even though that might be horrible to some people. But yeah, they can kind of start out in this tank. They have tons of food. It's completely cycled. It's been going forever, but it's just like a really tanny setup going on. And I think they'll survive, so I don't think it's going to freeze over anymore, but it'll still get kind of down there. But I like this, like there's a nice algae layer going on in places, and as you can see, all this biological media. Nothing's flowing though, so it's kind of stagnant in a way. So that might be the only problem going on with that. Okay, so it's been a little while. Let's see if they're all right in here. Okay, I'm going to count them, and then I'm just going to go ahead and let them out. I think they'll do all right. I don't think it was too much of a shock. I don't know how cold it is in here, but I don't think it's that bad. So this is more than a year later. If you saw the timestamp earlier, it is now more than a year later, and I've like filmed since then and stuff and whatever. But my point is that there are lots of goldfish in here, and some of the smaller ones are some of those original ones. Like, let's see, that one down there, probably. There's a couple of them that survived. I had a bunch of babies, and only a couple of them made it to this far, but I'm all right with that, and the ones that are here are doing quite well. And I'm all right with that because I don't have like that much space for goldfish, and they get incredibly big, so they're still growing, but they're kind of small, and they're well settled now. But some of them, one of the babies that I've produced is about the size of adults, and the rest of them are maybe more like half the size right now. But it's pretty crazy because they just get so big. But I don't want like however many hatched. That's just ridiculous. I'm more all right with somewhere under 20, preferably under 15, like goldfish, because they just get so big and they're so dirty and stuff like that. But I wanted to show that some did survive, even though I didn't fully think they would, along with two that I always made sure lived. I kind of separated those two out early because they were the biggest. And then a couple of them that had moved out here a year ago are still doing well. So I have this massive bristlenose pleco from my friend. His little brother had a tank, and it kind of outgrew its tank. So he said they had said it's going to go to me for a while, but it looks like now I finally got it, and I'm really excited about it. Norman is too, but Norman doesn't go after the fish really, so I'm not too worried about him. But I'm gonna let it acclimate a little bit, and then I'll go ahead and add it in. So it would make sense to quarantine it, but because it's just from a friend's tank, and it's been in that tank for like years, and it's probably not the healthiest environment in that tank, but I don't really want to add it in with Susan, because Susan would be the other option, because Susan doesn't have any fish in with her, so it'd make more sense to add it in with her. But she will go after the fish. I'm not worried about him, because there's actually like proper hiding spaces in here that the fish can get to, and this is a really established tank, so it'll have lots to feed on. I don't clean off the background, so there's tons of different things to feed on in here, and then it'll go just well with the turtle. The turtle should not bother it. It's bothering it right now just because it's something in there, but the fish won't bother it. And then eventually, once I can move everybody outside, including all the turtles, I'll move the pleco up here when I take that tank down, because I'm going to take this tank down, move the pleco up here. I'll move the dwarf stripe catfish that lives in this side in the rocks there. I'll move it back up here, which is, it's small. It's about half the size of that pleco, but it's still a bigger fish than these guys. And I'll move those two back up here, and I will take down the 125 gallon. I'll take down this tank, and all the turtles will go outside, and I'll probably scoop out the 2 goldfish that are in here, and as many minnows as I can catch just out of here to go put them in the pond. But for now, this is where it's going to go, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm going to dump out all the water so I don't add any of the water, and I will put it with that. But I've actually been wanting a pleco for a while, and this is like the best kind I could have gotten, because I, as I said, I really like the bristlenose plecos, and also it kind of goes in with all my other albino fish, because I have all these axanthic rosy red minnows or axanthic, what is it, fathead minnows, I think that's what they are. And I have a white skirt tetra that it happens where you have like the one, and then I have a bunch of koi catfish that I've bred, albino koi catfish. So there's actually only one fish in here that's not white, and that's this guy right here, that random blunt nose minnow that's in here. And then there's also the goldfish, and then there's a white goldfish in here as well. So the goldfish will be moved outside as well. And then obviously there's the turtles. But my point being is it'll go in with all the other white fish, and I'm really excited to have it in here, but I don't want to add it in here with all the turtles in here right now, because I think that's not the best idea. So I'll probably give it a couple more minutes, and then I'll go ahead and move it in. Actually, I'm gonna read the temperature in the bag and out here, and if it's the same already, then I'll just go ahead and move it over, because I feel like it's getting more stress in the bag. So moving the goldfish out and getting this Bristlenose pleco just happened to happen in the same day, so I decided to throw it into the same video, but it was just kind of like moving fish around. So I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed to see the fish and everything. I enjoy seeing them. I still have them. I think they're cool, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like this video down below. If you have any comments or concerns in the comments below, and if you want more content, then please subscribe. I hope you have a fantastic day.